Commission, the Southern Tier Tea Party Patriots, has presented a series of information meetings and rallies to inform members and the public about critical assaults attempting to derail freedoms granted to American citizens under the Constitution. We are fortunate to have this evening as our guest speaker a person living in our area of Western New York who is concerned about maintaining the integrity of the Constitution as it was written and intended. And we are lucky that this individual is able to write with such eloquence and clarity, instructing us and motivating us to take a stand against progressivism with its current and serious assaults upon our Constitution. Southern Tier Tea Party Patriots welcome Mr. Dan McLaughlin, regular opinion writer for the Post-Journal. If you are like me, you look forward to reading Mr. McLaughlin's weekly column as you drink your Saturday morning tea or coffee. A former CPA, financial executive, and corporate vice president, Mr. McLaughlin now works full-time writing and researching. He is in the final stages of his first book, Compassion and Truth, Good Intentions versus Good Results. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Dan McLaughlin.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you all for being here. This is so exciting. I feel like this is a part of the future. We're being a part of building the future. And the future is coming, whether you like it or not, whether you're prepared for it or not, the future is coming. Freedom means responsibility, and as free and responsible people, we want to plan our future. We want to live our future as we choose. Unfortunately, there are a lot of politicians and bureaucrats who want to plan our lives for us, who want to plan our economy. And they're making big mistakes that we have to pay for. I think that's why you're here. I think that's why the freedom movement is gaining so much momentum, why it is so strong. The future is going to be planned by somebody. The question is, who is going to do the planning? Is it going to be the individual who has his and her own goals and aspirations and expectations according to the Constitution and the principles of free society? Or will it be the central planner, politicians and bureaucrats who have their own goals, their own aspirations, their own prejudices and biases that they impose upon all of the people? A few weeks ago, I wrote a column entitled, What We Want. And it seemed to resonate with a lot of people. And I think this is a good opportunity to kind of refine that, to expand upon it, and expand upon what we can do. The column was addressed to President Obama, and it stated some of the things that we don't want. We don't want an out-of-control government that takes an increasing portion of the productivity of the American people. We don't want a government that takes away our rights to own guns, or to choose our own health care, or to run a business without confiscation and political manipulation. Most of all, we don't want the socialization of America that is bankrupting Greece and other countries of Europe, just like it did the Soviet Union before them. What we do want is we want them to honor their oaths of office, to uphold and defend the Constitution. We want them, yes. We want them to honor our freedom, to protect our unalienable rights, not only from other people, but from our own government. We want them to let us plan our lives as we see fit, taking the consequences, both the good and the bad. The article focused on the president because he is the figurehead, and he is the focus of all of the the political sunshine, and he certainly has the ability to garner a lot of support for the things that we don't want. And he certainly is leading us in the wrong direction. But the president is not fundamentally the problem. Congress is not fundamentally the problem. Even the massive bureaucracy that we have in place right now is not fundamentally the problem. They are basically the current manifestations of the ongoing process of the de-Americanizing of America. Let me elaborate. American historian W.E. Woodward wrote a book in 1938 called A New American History. And in the book, he was talking about, one of the things he was talking about was King Henry VIII, and specifically about the execution of a couple of his 8 wives, something which really didn't seem to bother a lot of people at that time. But Woodward said, another thing, Henry VIII was a tyrant, and that increased his popularity. There's hardly anything a human being can do to arouse more enthusiasm and universal acclaim than to become a successful tyrant. For tyranny has a distinction of its own, especially when the tyrant is jovial, hearty, and on the common level. Woodward goes on to say, liberty implies responsibility, and the vast majority of mankind has always hated responsibility worse than death. So in all ages, men have run around holding liberty in their hands, holding it out before them as one holds a golden vessel, offering it to anyone who possesses enough vulgar enterprise to take it from them. Does that sound familiar? Many Americans are holding their golden vessel of liberty up for grabs, and there are many others who have the vulgar enterprise to take it from them. That's why we're here tonight. We reject the tyranny of grasping politicians, however jovial or sour, however